Hello, this is James Lipson, Bride Star Church, evening the world out in love. The name of this one is Third Party Orbiting and Offering Order. Uh, like I said in the Great Imprisonment, we're taking care of all the uh, mm, uh, dividers and ones coming out of for the wrong reason, making social wealth freedom not so free, or at least marketing it as such. So, I just wanted to express this type of thing and help with the workers of different sorts. It really doesn't matter, even if you were looking for love, full, unconditional love, or just spreading the information of the truth and the guiding love of not letting those manipulate people by heartstring games or um, just concentrating and focusing and being idealistic of the sexual part of it. It could be any it's on a full spectrum, really all humanity, all mankind, according to where freedoms would be, which is Rise Star Church as well, relational freedom. So I want to talk about the orbiting because I gave a little segment on the old workers. They were influenced. They past 12 to make their, allow them to weaponize format and made them like kind of lying sheets and paralyzed according to their organization, not really uh, making their own prison as such, I expressed. Um, so the, and like I said, especially with the children, how they were hiding of them in that format. Uh, you know, they made them. Uh, and I'll do a segment on that, but they made them, uh, you know, insinuate someone to lead or insinuate someone to follow uh, with no word, just action involved, so they can move freely divide how they wanted for their suffering business. So, they're, and of course, I made it easy for them because they've been formed in muteness, you could say. Sometimes the judgment in the way of, I just made it easy for them too. It's like if they say no, great. If they don't say no, go. Doesn't matter who's around there, the offering they're agreeing. They have to say it according to. And, chase all you want, and, half an hour, 500 feet. I made it really clear and easy for those that just are coming to accomplish what they need to accomplish. But I wanted to make it very simple. Like, for instance, the orbiting. You're kind of sandwiched until the queen comes and kind of frees me, and it's kind of cutting off the the ones that used to bring the offerings to extort the public and hide the very thing that they're acting like they're condemning and haramizing their bunches. Uh, yeah, hopefully what we're doing is we're cutting them off with the offering order of things. And the the like I said, the offering order I can pick first. Of course, I'm not going to pick any because I'm leaving it for the great leader, our queen, to come of, and even depending on age, could be two of them and such. At least the history book sort, anyway. Not counting the coupling, the king's pot there, which most likely the more they hold back, the bigger it gets. So really doesn't matter to me. Uh, Happen eventually. But the the third party, which I express so much, they have all the freedoms that I'll have when the queen comes. I'm just kind of like holding the door open. They're kind of sandwiched. You're sandwiched in between two different laws. We got the dictator version of, but they're coming and they're doing entrapment, which according to law is illegal. So you win in a case because it was entrapping, and they cannot deny it. For the extra thing that you have, you can bring your cameras, and you can bring the picture of me in it, and the video there with your friends or family taking it, and when I came by, it was within the half an hour and the 500 feet, proven there that they're not going to take me to court. They don't want me to cut off the last dash, that way. They want to try it like personally with the first queen that comes or something maybe, or such. And you're kind of sandwiched between that, and you're sandwiched between the perception, which really lies according to law. Uh, it doesn't matter what an agency promotes, they're still knowingly committing laws, which knowing it's bad. That's why there's mentally ill people cannot get charged because they don't know the difference between right and wrong. They go, it's a different process. If they fall for it, then they're obviously mentally ill. But it's the same thing, willing and knowingly. Well, you're a Rise Star Church member, or you believe the red, even if it wasn't true. But either way, it is. It's law, constitutional law, Rise Star Church. And so you're kind of sandwiched between both of making you absolutely free. It's great. I love it. Can't wait till the Queen comes. Any which way, if that's not really, you're kind of tiptoeing in the water, as you could say, there's still the two different opportunities. Well, the Rise Star Church is there. Let's say the ones that aren't there for the unconditional love offerings, that have separate their third party businesses and issues, and they're doing their thing, or just somebody coming in green that wants to experience love in some manner. Either way, it would be the other end of the spectrum, which would be chastity chase, which is the justifiable one for a natural Rise Star, according to that age, or it's faux forness, people making money off the suffering of people and extorting people in society, which is ending the old criminal justice play techniques, garbage. So, any which way, I wanted to give you a little thing. You can orbit how you want, because you'll notice I do the same thing. Like I said, I'll state again, I would put it in a 3-step program here for yourself. Understanding that sandwich of the law. Here's your 3 steps. Here's one. You decide to orbit. You're like, oh well, they're insinuating me to lead, and they're not asking me to lead, which could apply me the law or whatever you want to say. Or they're insinuating for me to follow. There's no little thing, whatever. Well, you'll notice I just mirror the same thing. I'm like, what business? I'm thinking to myself and looking at it like, if it's chastity chase type deal, I just look according to what they want me to look for. It helps them deal with their sexuality as a chastity chase. But at the same time, it gets them in that, the only righteous weaponized war that way before the chastity chase, to keep them separate so those can instill the foundation that they need. So I'll just sit there and kind of mirror it. Never gonna, no insinuating, leading, never gonna happen. Happening here. No insinuating, falling is never going to happen here. If I happen to start with a lead of some conversation real quick, I'm going to quickly separate and wait for you to come. Because only the leader, or the one that asked me to lead, which is the same thing as a conversation and questions, or that's the queen. Any which way. So you can orbit how you want. Because then you could take, make sure that they're applying the half an hour and 500 feet rule, especially with more rich third parties, with the surveillance I talked about in many other segments, especially with that, so they can make sure that there's no haremizing going on, that it's only around the public wells and such. So there's that aspect you can take, but really, like I've expressed in the chastity chase portion of it, well, they're coming in green. So it's Chastity Chase. It's they're working at the field, and they're working out. I'll take two issues. They're working at the fear unto salvation, and they're working out the uh, the um, the games, teaching the games. Thirdly, and they're getting them confident, at least until they understand that the Bibles work. But only word. But they're working out to get the little kids used to being safe in a community, to be free themselves somewhat, because they have faith in the police, faith in their organization, faith in their family protections. So any which way, they're coming to me and agreeing. And then that's why I talked about, like, okay, well, depending on between this or Chastity Chase or such, I'm going to quickly leave to give a third party the chance if it's, well, quite frankly, a fucking education, or any other number of aspects to the teaching of their phoneness, even the ones that bring that. Really more like in that case, because they're lying to those that are in the veil if they would have gone that way anyway. So, any which way, you are, like I said, if it's Chastity Chase, they're either going to have somebody pretty strong getting close to entering the veil anyway in their Chastity Chase, because they are luring for over 30 minutes. So, you just have fun playing with the kids with the possibility. You know what I mean? Your little chase, show her how great it is, or the aspect of, like I said, they'll be quick out, getting in the car out, and even the approach needs to be approached with third party and with the ones in green. So we separated, make it according to the will of anybody who's with. So any which way, then it's more like, oh, look, yeah, we can look on him. You're being a spy for this guy. Look, yeah, see how he was? This is the conversation afterwards. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then while we were going in the car, the other one came up. See, they come in a herd. You know what I mean? We're working. You see how this works out the fear, works out the salvation, and they can go over techniques that will separate them from others so they can help them still. And then they can talk about the things they need to do for their security and safety in the community with the system, organization, or the people they're with. And so this works in that way. And then step number 3, so the orbiting, the Chastity Chase approach, and it really makes it easy when you're traveling from other cities, and such. They may never see you again. And number 3, getting to the education, which is obviously, like I said, if they're not doing the righteous Chastity Chase, they're not doing the be careful. You don't want to put the blame with the children because of the organization that we're already doing the great imprisonment with. We're getting ready to trap because they're racketeers and not bringing more, but they're the ones that haven't caught up because they're above 12 and they're in full force because they make their money off the suffering and destruction of our societies. And so they're, instead of only bringing the children for the Chastity Chase, they're actually bringing them as a foe looking for the terrorists and Americans they don't know how to help, as Rise Star Church and the other organizations where Rise Star Church are. So those ones, it's like I said, they'll blame the kids, they're in earshot maybe at times and such, but they're full forness. And anyway, they want to be educated too. You might just have a fucking education because of the fact the child, while you're telling both the child and the adult, realizes, yeah, these people are terrorists. This was for my chastity. And this doesn't help out in society. I just wanted to meet people, learn love, and things like that. I don't want to be with these foes either that are destroying our society with profits off of the destruction of people, making them worse. So that education might just lead to the fucking education. But so there's just three aspects in the orbiting of such you can mirror, because that one also works really well. And to add a little token, because there's not only cutting off better for the chastity chase, but the ones that are kind of more in the veil, but they're in line sheet format, we're cutting all them off. They're only going to get theirs. They wanted to haremize and be like wicked little things, or older things. They only get what they get because they're building a hedge of protection, they would say. Well, they were building a choice, a dictatorship to destroy who came to give them love or to allow them in, you could say. So they're going to only get theirs. And pretty soon, we'll tell you, in their little trial and tribulation, when they're standing around with just dogs that use and abuse people, believe me, they're going to be leaving. They'll come to your organization. They'll come to you instead of playing this indirect. I will come lead me or come follow me indirectly. They'll stop that real quick, especially when I started. So the orbit, and then you have the chastity chase, working out that fear, and their teaching, and their thing that needs to be evolved, and maybe getting to the conversation with the foe for this, which leads to they get lucky, they have a new wife, beautiful little thing, or anything, any age, whichever. God bless with Bright Star Church to your orbit and know the order. And like I said, who's second in line? I'm not going to take them because the great leader has to come. Come in green. Guess who's really first in order till the queen comes? Third party. Doesn't matter the bids, what they spent. That would be conditional, remember? They just get to veil and watch. It doesn't matter the people offering. No matter. But it's her test after all. It's her will. But guess what? Holy Spirit will definitely create that. What the offerings are all about anyway. If they want to go out of order, they're conditional. They're line sheets. And those are fizzing out. God bless.